Friends, myself Professor Khemchand Surana. So today we will continue with our chapter, that is what anti-amoebic agents. In previous session we have seen about the introduction of protozoal infection, then amoebiasis, then life cycle of Entamoeba histolytica, or we can call life cycle of amoebiasis. Then further we have started with the classification of anti-amoebic drugs. In that we have seen the different classification of anti-amoebic agents. Further we have started with the details of each category of anti-amoebic agents. In that we have started with nitroimidazole, in that example metronidazole. Further their mode of action, metabolism we have discussed, then synthesis of metronidazole we have discussed. Further this another drugs from the similar category, that is tinidazole, ornidazole we have discussed. Then dichloroacetamide we have started. So in that dioxazanide we have discussed. Further the iodoquinolone we have seen. So now today we will start with the another category of these anti-amoebic agents, that is what the drugs effective only in the tissue or hepatic amoebiasis. So the first drug, that is what chloroquine, or nowadays because of recent crisis of COVID-19 we can call this derivative as what the our in Hindi we can call it is jadi booty of the for the treatment of COVID-19, and this is what the anti-malarial drug. So the mode of action of this drug is basically high concentration into the liver. It will concentrate into the liver, so it is effective against the hepatic amoebiasis. So very effective in the combination with dihydroemetine or emetine for prevention or the treatment of amoebic liver abscess. So the mode of action is quite simple, that is what the it will concentrate into the liver, means the high concentration will created into the liver and useful into the treatment of hepatic amoebiasis, as it is given with combination with dihydroemetine or emetine for the treatment of liver abscess, or maybe liver abscess we can call it. So this is what the major use of this chloroquine. Further emetine we have to see. So this is what parenteral administration, because the oral administration may causes vomiting. Emetine can be derived from the ipecac. So the ipecac is the major source of this emetine and dihydroemetine. The mode of action of this drug is the parenteral administration. Because of parenteral administration, drugs store mainly in the liver, so it is effective against the hepatic amoebiasis. And this drug is basically useful against the trophozoites. As we have seen, there are two forms of this amoebic infection, that is was cyst and trophozoite. So this is useful against the trophozoite form. So then further drugs from this category is etofamide. The structure is given over here, you can see the amide is there basically. So this is what antiprotozoal drug used in the treatment of amoebiasis. The dose of this etofamide is 1 gram per day for 3 consecutive days. The tolerance of new anti-amoebic drug was excellent. The cure rate because of this drug is near about 92% and useful in the treatment of chronic intestinal amoebiasis. The mode of action of this drug is unknown basically. Then further the drugs from this antiprotozoal category is teclosan. You can say this is again amide derivative. So structure is given over here. This is antiprotozoal agent and it is dichloroacetamide derivative. So dichloro is there and amide is there. So further the important class of this anti-amoebic agent is emetines and dihydroemetine. So the emetine and dihydroemetine examples of these emetines. Emetine. So emetine, which is what alkaloid derived from the Syphilis ipecacuanha, and dihydroemetine, a synthetic analog of this emetine, which kills the trophozoites of Entamoeba histolytica, so which is what alkaloid and derived from the Syphilis ibicacuna, and these the synthetic derivative of this imitin is dihydroimitin, and the mode of action of these imitins is basically they were kills the tropozoites of Entamoeba histolytica. So the mode of action is the basically inhibiting the intraribosomal translocation of tRNA amino acid complex, which will inhibition of protein synthesis. So how it works, basically how it kills these tropozoites of Entamoeba histolytica. So they were initially inhibiting the intraribosomal translocation of tRNA amino acid complex. So whatever complex between tRNA and amino acid, they will inhibit the protein synthesis. So effect on tropozoites but not on cyst. So basically these drugs are act on tropozoites only, not on cyst form. The potent and rapid action systematic relief in 1 to 3 days, but not curative. Uh, asymptomatic cyst passing administered subcutaneously or intramuscularly, because oral preparations are absorbed erratically and omitting very slow excretion into the urine 1 to 2 months. So as already we have discussed, they were effect only on tropozoites, and potent and rapid action and symptomatic relief in between 1 to 3 days, means whatever the symptoms were relieves from the 1 to 3 days, but it is not curative basically. So asymptomatic cyst passing subcutaneous and intramuscularly, because oral preparations are absorbed erratically and omitting, so very slow excretion into the urine 1 to 2 months, so excretion rate is very slow. So the uses of these drug is reverse drug for the severe intestinal and intraintestinal amoebiasis. So it is what the reserve drug, basically reserve drug for the treatment of intestinal and extraintestinal amoebiasis, or for patient not responding to metronidazole, luminal amebicide needed to be added. So if the patient which is not responded to metronidazole treatment or luminal amebicide treatment at that time, so these imitins and dihydroimitins or dehydroimitins were given as a treatment. So these are what the structure of dehydroimetin and imetin you can see. So the dehydroimetin is the synthetic derivative of imetin. So structure is given over here. So dehydroimetin is synthetically produced antiprotozoal agent similar to imetin in its anti-amoebic property and structure. They differs only in the double bond next to the ethyl group, but it produces fewer side effects. So this is what synthetically produced anti-protozoal agent, and both were similar, imetin as well as dihydroimetin, properties as well as structure, but produces the fewer side effects, means less side effect having both of them. The next point is the SAR of anti-imetin. So the SAR, basically imetin possesses skeleton with 2 tetrahydroisoquinoline ring. So here you can see the structure of imetin. So the 2 tetrahydroisoquinoline derivative, at second position nitrogen is there. So the 2 isoquinoline ring you can see into the structure. So and the terpenoidal portion, so in between the terpene portion you can see. So this is what the basic skeleton of imetin, so which is what having a tetrahydroisoquinoline ring and terpenoidal portion. So psychotrin is a phenolic. It gives imetin on reduction followed by methylation. So psychotrin is what the phenolic compound on the methylation of this drug, on the reduction and further methylation. So first step is reduction and second step is methylation. So it gives imetin. So imetin is non-phenolic alkaloid. Basically imetin induces broad range of cellular effects including increase in alternative slicing of genes and antagonism of alpha 2 adrenergic receptors. So what they having a broad range of cellular effects in that alternative slicing of genes and antagonism of alpha 2 adrenergic receptor. So emitting shows that N2-N5 and C9 are critical positions that are essentially required for biological activity. So whatever the here position N2, N5 and C9 position, so these are what critical position and essential for the biological activity. So the next point is ADR, adverse drug reactions of emitting local stimulation, pain and tenderness in the area of injection, gastrointestinal tract, discomfort, nausea, vomiting. CTZ is the drug basically use oral and IV, diarrhea and abdominal cramp, neuromuscular blockade, muscles weakness and discomfort, cardiac toxicity, arrhythmias, congestive heart failure, hypotension, ECG where changes sometimes at that time the bed rest is required. So contraindication of this drug is not to be used in the patient with cardiac or renal diseases, in young children or in the pregnancy. So these are what ADR and contraindications of this emetic. So the next drug is paramomycin, which is what aminoglycoside antibiotic. Structure is given over here. Aminoglycoside antibiotic. It is an antibiotic used to treat intestinal infection. So these aminoglycoside paramomycin useful into the intestinal infections such as cryptosporidiosis and amoebiasis and other diseases such as leishmaniasis. So this drug is useful in the cryptosporidiosis, amoebiasis as well as leishmaniasis. Paramomycin was demonstrated to be effective against cutaneous leishmaniasis in clinical studies in the USSR in 1960s and in trials with visceral leishmaniasis into the early 1990s. So the route of administration is intramuscular injection and capsule. So by IM and by capsule it is given. So paramomycin topical cream with or without gentamicin or gentamicin we can call, is an effective treatment for ulcerative cutaneous leishmaniasis. So the mode of action of this paramomycin is the direct amoebicidal action having this drug, which causes the leakage by its action on cell membrane parasite. So it will basically act on cell membrane of parasite. Indirect killing of bacterial flora essential for proliferation of pathogenic amoebas. So, this is what the basic mode of action, amoebicidal action, and they were causes the leakage into the membrane of parasite and killing the bacterial flora essential for the proliferation of pathogenic amoebiasis. So the side effect of this paramomycin is abdominal distress and diarrhea. So thank you. Here the